You think I'm kidding? I already have this email drafted to Mina Elahi from The New Yorker. You get me fired, I send it.
You accidentally just sent it.
And it's gone, bitch.
Okay, let's do a reset.
There's no better feeling than people connecting to the show.
The series win is so nice because you share it with everybody who makes the show. All of our crew, all of our cast, our writers, our editors.
We put our blood, sweat, and tears into it, and so we wanted to have the next season come out quickly.
The one and only Deborah.
This year felt like way more fast-paced sprint to the finish line. Like, as we sit here now, we're still editing.
I haven't showered in a month.
Deborah walks slightly behind Ava. The tension is insane.
We knew that we wanted a power dynamic shift towards the end of season 3.
You were always very like, this is the song, this is it.
When we did see it to picture, it was really, really perfect.
We kind of reprised the Parcels song in the opening of season 4 to reset the tension.
Well, aren't you a big, brave girl?
I guess I am. It's for the best.
We'll see.
The writing is so brilliant because that's the one thing that I've always thought about since the very first episode was how do you keep that sparring? How do you keep that dynamic going once they get to know each other so well? And that it's perfect, you know, she learned from the best.
I was really, really shocked, as I always am. Like, I really, episode to episode, have no accuracy in my predictions.
Why, Ava, why? You have to get a late night show off the ground. Blackmail on day 1?
I'm just doing what she would have done.
She just called you the C word, and not in a cool RuPaul way, in an angry boomer way.
She made a decision to play on Deborah's level, so she's in this difficult place trying to parse what's Deborah and what's her.
This you? Yeah, this girl looked like depression.
That was the old me, see?
We talked a lot about, like, is she trying on clothes that don't quite fit?
New job, new me. I love it.
You know, she's only 27 years old. I think she's still figuring out who she is and who she wants to be. That is very much a question we're exploring with Ava this season.
We sometimes jokingly refer to her as Evil Ava.
That's true. The writer's room did call her Evil Ava once this turn happened.
That's the thing, she's not evil.
No, of course,
she's not evil.
Part of what we're exploring is how devilish can she be?
They hear a loud smash from the kitchen. They run over to find Deborah sledgehammering counters and shelves. Damien low-key takes a video.
Getting to sledgehammer the kitchen was very satisfying. Yeah, that was fun. Reminded me of when I was little, I would go to the dump with my dad. You know, heave rocks at window panes.
We weren't even angry, OG.
Deborah is very much number 1 on the call sheet of her life and sees everybody else around her as supporting players. And so when they kind of step into their own, she takes it as a threat.
For all of the narcissistic qualities that Deborah has, she is very loyal to people who are loyal to her. She's a mob boss.
Be careful, I'm wearing a wire.
She's doing everything she can to get Ava out.
Ava knows exactly who she's dealing with. Two can play at this game.
Yes.
What's the policy on physical violence? Is it okay for a boss to slap an employee across the face?
That would be highly inappropriate.
We're all really good pros at not breaking character, but sometimes I will indulge in a laugh.
Any questions? I didn't know.
Michaela, who plays Stacy, is just hilarious.
Can I wear a tank top in the office?
You can, because you're hot. Do you see what I did there? What did I do wrong there?
You have objectified him.
That's right. Okay, you can go.
Okay, let's go.
Deborah, as a woman...
No, let me stop you right there. How about you not think of me as a woman, okay? I'm not a woman, I'm a comedian. Got it?
There's that Cher quote that her mom says, you should find a rich man, and she says, Mom, I am a rich man. You know, I think Deborah does think of herself as a rich man.
She's so used to just scratching and clawing and trying to make her career. She doesn't want to hold that mantle and take that on and think about that. And Ava is a feminist, but there is one woman she wants to kill.
And that is feminism too, maybe.
Yes.
You cannot make a show like this. It's not gonna work.
Why don't you mind your own business, Jimmy? She is not beating the cunt allegations.
Kayla, I told you, I don't like that word if we're not in London.
I think Jimmy's the biggest feminist on the show.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Fully.
I think it's probably getting eroded. I think slowly he's like, women are crazy. These women are crazy. That party scene is so fun. The location was really cool. And there's sort of all of these little vignettes between Kayla and Jimmy, Deborah and Winnie and Bob Lipka.
Winnie was really your champion, and I'm happy to take orders from women.
I think there is chemistry there, but now that there is more of an official power imbalance, it's hard to define exactly what that relationship is.
Well, I have you.
Even though he's kind of threatening her and saying, don't tell anyone, I was like, they're gonna kiss. It's not in the script, but they're gonna kiss.
Deborah exits a porta potty, using her elbow to do so. She's not happy.
It's so fun to think about Deborah having to use a porta potty wearing that jacket.
Where's she hanging that fur in the porta potty?
She scans the crowd and her eyes land on Ava, extremely underdressed.
I will say Kathleen Felix Hager, who is our costume designer, is so intentional about every single choice. We do leave a lot of the subtext and the symbolism to her.
I don't think Deborah is the devil and Ava's an angel. I think that they're both devilish at this point. She was originally wearing blue, but she pissed all over it. So then it became white. It was a scene we didn't shoot too many times. We wanted it to be in that very tight two shot so that you really felt every moment.
We, the audience, see them react and you see that they're hurt, but it's like poker players not showing their cards and not showing a tell to the other because they're not looking at each other.
In the beginning of the episode, Ava says,
She's heartless.
And then you get to see her react to Deborah saying,
You broke my heart.
I think that's a surprise for her.
When Deborah says, I'll never speak to you again, you see on Hannah's face how devastating that is, and then she collects herself and says, good.
You see Deborah look, I think, genuinely
Scared.
You know, I think it's the first time that Deborah realizes, I have created a monster.